Hey everyone, this is Alex Milstein. I'm the editor-in-chief of Betting News Now, and this is Bet Ed Now, bite-sized bits of betting industry knowledge. Today, my guest is Tim McDonald. He is a general manager at Home in Albany, Oregon, and we're going to be talking about the psychology of sales and overcoming objections. So, welcome to the show, Tim.
Hey Alex, thanks man. Super glad to be here.
Yeah, glad to have you on right before the busy Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. I feel it. You can just feel it in your bones. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, I'm glad. I'm glad to hear that. Going into the weekend, and obviously this will run after it, but we're going to be talking about the psychology of sales and overcoming objections, which, is a good thing for retailers to start working on, for the next holiday, which is July 4th coming up. So let's talk a little bit about the psychology of sales. Tell me what, your kind of insight on that is.
For me, and the way that I train my salespeople, right, it's service the customer first, service the customer's needs first from the time that they walk in. Whether that be offering them a bottle of water, a friendly smile, a handshake, laughter. The seven steps of the sale starts. It should start if you're a sales professional before they even enter because you're ready, you have the mindset of winning before they get there. And then once they're in, they're in your home. You treat them as a guest, you treat them with love, care, and empathy, and it should be a win-win situation at the end of that.
Yeah, definitely. Now, talk a little bit about the seven steps. Can you go through them quickly and kind of touch on how you use them?
Absolutely. So it all started actually back when I started in this industry at More Furniture in Fresno, California. It's you meet and greet, you qualify, you personalize, build rapport, you find the need, you fill the need, and then you close the sale and submit the sale. Very simple. It's something that I've been doing now for almost 20 years.
Hmm.
And I don't veer from that, because if I veer from it, then I'm on, it just doesn't work. If you're going into a football game, right, and you have a selected game plan, this is what you're going to do, this is when you're going to do it, and this is how you're going to do it, and you veer off from that, you're going to lose. Inevitably you're going to lose. I've written it out. That's what I train my salespeople on. They have to memorize it. They have to know what they're doing. We pop quiz them, and that's what was done for me to even get that job. I had to know that. I had to know the meet and greet. I had to know the qualifying questions.
Hmm.
The lead-in questions. And the most important thing of the entirety of the seven steps is listening. Listening not to respond, but listening to care, listening with empathy, listening so that you could feel I always say, right, every time that a customer tells me something, it's just another bullet to put in my gun, another bullet if I'm listening. But if I'm not, I'm missing all the trigger points, and that could be the easiest reason that they will walk out without buying, is because I missed what they were saying.
Absolutely. I think that's extremely important. Listening, I think even beyond the sales role, listening is something that more people would benefit from because, when you listen, you learn more about what the other person is really looking for. And in sales, that's extremely helpful. So let's talk about objections because I think that's something that they don't always happen in the store necessarily, but when they
Mhm.
do, what kind of advice do you have for RSAs who have to deal with objections on the spot?
The first one is hands down what you must do is agree. Agree. I understand completely what you're saying, right? And then the next thing is going to be isolate the objection, because a lot of them are actually smoke screens. They just want to get away from you. So identify and isolate the objection. What is the real objection? Is it because they want to look around? Okay, great. If you did want to look around and I was your third store that you looked at, what would be the thing that would get you to purchase from me today? Would it be price, promotion, product? And then shut up, because they're going to tell you, right? As
Hmm.
long as you have cultivated that relationship with them, as long as you have empathy, as long as you have care, as long as you sit back, you relax, you open your arms, that's all the psychology stuff that I really like to train my people on, is being soft. The owner of my store, because I'm kind of a bigger guy, and I have tattoos all over, and they call me Tattoo Tim. But he caught me with a elder couple one time, and I they were laying on the bed and I was standing up, right, and I'm going, and I'm very precise with my words. That's another thing that you have to do when you're overcoming objection. You can't fumble. What happens when you fumble on the goal line? You don't get the touchdown. you know I mean, it's that simple. but being clear and concise and precise with your words, because once I start, like, at the, you're not sure, right? And when does a customer buy? When it's clear, they purchase when clarity is given, and they withdraw when there's confusion.
Yeah.
So you got to be on top of your game. You got to know. I have a lot of word tracks that I do. I stole them from good old Andy Elliott, in the car industry. And I took those and I just put them into the furniture and mattress industry, and it works. As long as you're listening, as long as you're caring. If you sound
Right.
like a robot, it's not going to work.
Yeah, yeah. I think what it really comes down to is the psychology of sales goes beyond the sale itself. It goes more
Yeah.
into the psychology of the person and their buying habits or, other places that they've shopped and the experiences they've had there. So yeah, I really like kind of what you're saying about making it more than the sale, connect with them on a person-to-person level, develop a relationship. I think that's something that's really important. A lot of RSAs can benefit from that for sure.
Yeah, and I've heard people say this, right? When somebody says, "I just want to think about it." Well, how would you respond to that? Well, what is there that you need to think about? Why do you need to think about it? Well, I mean, you're not agreeing with them. You're not giving them a sense of comfort. You're not giving them empathy. You're not giving them care, right? If
Mm.
somebody was to tell me that, I would say, because I want to, you know.
Yeah.
But hey, of course you want to think about it because I haven't given you enough information not to think about it. If you don't mind, let's circle back, let's slow down real quick, and let's go over some things that you would have to think about. So maybe we can
Mhm.
clear them up right now so you'll have everything when you go home to talk to your husband or wife.
Yeah.
And nine times out of 10, that's when I take them to my desk, take them out of that situation, take it to the desk, make them feel like we're closing a deal. And
Mm.
sometimes you close it, sometimes you don't. But at the end of the day, right, the psychology of sales was, hey, that's where I'm going to go when I sign for my mattress tonight, or when I sign for, because I'm a furniture and mattress superstore. I mean, that's where I'm
Mm.
going to go when I buy my furniture.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, cool. Well, I think that's all for today, Tim. I think that was a great conversation. I appreciate you
Cool.
taking the time today.
Yeah, absolutely, brother. Anytime, man. You're
Yeah,
you're you're awesome in this industry. I love what you do,
thank
you
you.
know.
I really appreciate
Yeah.
that.